Alright, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be analyzing some 2.6 games. First one we're going to analyze is from Mike, and it's against Lavaloon. So, first off, against Lavaloon, you usually want to get good damage on both towers. And that way, you can give up a tower in double elixir. So here this person has army, self barbarians, so it makes it a little bit easier since you don't really need to fireball on offense. You just need an ice comb hog. So let's see what he does. So starting play, he doesn't have hog, so he just cycles and get back to hog. So first off, a possible option would be to musk to kill the tombstone. But it's kind of a risky play because they can lava opposite. That way you can tower trade, so it's not the complete worst thing. So it's a possibility. You could musk to kill the tombstone and then go hog. But then again, it's Princess Army, so kind of rough. But I would still prediction log because even if the opponent has barbarians, you musk would two-shot the barbarians with the log. So I think if you went musk here, kill the tombstone, and then went hog with a prediction log, even if the opponent had barbarians, it would have been pretty well. Okay, so opponent goes mega and he chooses to fireball. So I honestly don't think fireball is the best play on the tombstone. You could have either went for the musk or waited and then just logged the tombstone. And then that way, once the tombstone's out of hand, you can go ice comb hog, and then if they have barbarians, you can hog the fireball. And in this case, they have Skarmy, so ice comb hog would just be enough. Instead, he fireballs and lava. Usually want fireball in single because it's very important on defense. So here, see what it does. So he goes hog to pull the mega minion. And then opponent Skarmies. So that's pretty bad because Skarmy almost always gets a positive elixir trade. And look, he's down 4 elixir, which is really, really bad against Lavaloon in single. And he doesn't even have hog to punish, so the opponent gets a free lava hound. And he's probably gonna loot with it. So let's see what he does. So Mike goes musk behind king. So first off, since you're going against tombstone, I would musk bottom left if they lava there, because the tombstone version doesn't have miner and usually has fireball, so that way you can freely go cannon in the middle without them hitting both the musk and the cannon with fireball. But here, since they went musk behind king, the musk get closer to the center so they can hit both. So let's see what he does when he goes blue. Okay, so he goes cannon in a very bad spot. So I guess his thought process was to pull the loon forward so the musk could hit it, maybe. But that did not work. Let's go back a bit. Let's see where he went loon. Because maybe he could have pulled. Okay, he went loon there. I would have just went cannon at the top, but closer to the center. So that way it would be harder to fireball both the cannon and the musk. And since opponent doesn't have zap, he can't even kill the musk right now. So that way the musk could DPS down the lava, and once the lava pops, you can fireball and they'll kill everything. So that way I think he would have been able to defend. Instead he goes cannon in a really bad spot and Musk can't DPS down the lava fast enough. And he fireballs the loon only. And yeah, just loses his tower. So another possible option was to completely ignore this. Not like just ignore, don't cannon, and then just go Ice Golem Hog opposite and then log the tombstone. That's a possible option as well. If you thought you couldn't defend. I thought he could have defended since the opponent doesn't have zap, so he couldn't really kill the Musk anyway. And yeah, but a safe option could be to tower trade. So here he goes Ice Golem Hog, and the opponent has his elixir back. And as you see here, opponent defends. Mike gets no hog in cycle, so he just gets a free long hound. So yeah, that was not good at all. Like usually you want to hog when he's pushing, so it makes the push a bit smaller. Because if you hog after their push is done, it just lets them cycle back to their win condition, and you won't have your win condition to punish at all. So he just gets a free long hound here, and he can't even punish. So he could possibly cycle back to another hog here, which wouldn't be a bad play. Like he could go Mosque and punish with the Ice Golem Hog, since the opponent has no Scarmy or Tombstone in cycle. So yeah, you need to make sure you count your opponent's cycles so you know when to hog. Right now it would be a good time to hog. So he does pull the loon forward, and then he fireballs it. So he fireballs it towards the tower, which is very bad. Like if you fireballed the loon away from the tower, it wouldn't have got any hits. And here he hogs an E-Spirit, and then he musks. So I don't know why he went musk. He could have just went Ice Golem Hog again, since the opponent had no tombstone. I think his biggest issue is not knowing his opponent's cycle and knowing when he has tombstone. Because honestly, you should Ice Golem Hog whenever the opponent doesn't have tombstone. Here, since he's down on a whole tower, he needs to get damage, and he can fireball the minions. Or you can go with like E-Spirit and then fireball, since the death damage of Ice Golem and E-Spirit, and then fireball would kill Mega as well. So that would almost guarantee a tower every time. And he goes Mosque, which is kind of useless. Then he goes Ice Bomb Hog. And then he fireballs, which is a bit late. So if he didn't Mosque, he could have got a fireball down quicker. And he would have taken that tower. Yeah, it's 385 damage, and now he's down so much elixir. This defense is going to be really rough. His Musk is dead. And goes Hog. Opponent Skarmies, and he loses his tower, so yeah. We're second game. We're going to analyze Epic Ind. And he's against Giant Double Prince. This matchup, okay, so he's under-leveled, so okay, it doesn't really matter since the opponent doesn't really have anything that doesn't try to ice bomb like bats or skeletons, so he's not at that big of a disadvantage, but Lavaloon Hog could change things. Let's see. So this matchup is quite good, but like before, I did think that this was quite a hard matchup, so it's not exactly the easiest matchup when you're just starting off with 2.6. So he goes Hog. Oh, wait. everyone's level 11. But why does it show? I don't know. Oh well. Okay, let's just start again. So he goes hog skeletons, which isn't bad since it baited out Mega. I mean, the E-Wiz as well. And wow, he didn't. He's didn't spirit. I would have probably went spirit because I think it would have saved his mask. Okay, so it just completely wishes fireball. So yeah, his defense should be quite easy. Skeletons in the middle, then orc. Nice. Okay, they're playing Sash for some reason. Okay. I don't know why I went mask. Should have just went ice golem. Like the mask is just completely useless here since he can't support it. I guess it'll still bait out like something like a mega, but opponent could maybe punish. Maybe not since it's giant, so I guess that wasn't that bad of a play, but I would have still went ice golem. So here he's my spirit and maybe hog. Okay, hog opposite. I would hog opposite here. Okay, so I guess he didn't hog at all because he was focusing on this one tower, but that's not exactly the best thing because it just lets them stack up a push in that lane and you won't ever be able to get damage. So you want to go hog opposite, that way you won't be stuck focusing in one lane and they can't just keep cycling princesses in that lane, preventing you from getting any damage. So yeah, I would definitely. Okay, he does hog opposite, so that's good. I would also probably went. I would have went hog, and then when the opponent went E-Wiz, I would have went skeletons onto the E-Wiz. That way you would have got two hog hits. You could have went Mosk onto the miner and then Ice Spirit for the hog. You would have defended the right lane. And then you could have locked the E-Wiz. So here, I guess he wasn't. That defense was decent. And here you could probably hog. See what he does. He probably hog right lane. Yeah, he does. Okay, so opponent goes Prince as one hog hit. Opponent doesn't have Zap, so you can skeletons in the middle. Okay. I don't know why he went cannon. He could have probably just went skeletons then Musk. So that could probably lose me the game. He could have just went skeletons and then Musk because you could see Musk was his next card in cycle. And now the opponent can just giant back and it's going to be really awkward. Let's see what he does. Giant's bridge, which is honestly not the best play because this defense is going to be so easy. And he still has a cannon up. He hogs opposite, which is good. Our skeletons onto the E-Wiz, that way you get two hog hits. And then the defense should be quite easy with an ice golem. Okay, so he does ice golem. And then get back to Mask. Wow, an opponent misses a file. So what he could have done better here. I think his Dark Prince charged. Yeah, it did charge. So if he went Ice Golem earlier, the Ice Golem would have stayed alive longer. His defense would have been a bit easier. And maybe he didn't need the log if he went Ice Golem earlier. But let's see. Let's see, he was go kind of awkward since the opponent can hit both lanes now. So he's basically focusing on this one lane with cannon, which I wouldn't do because it makes it really awkward. The opponent just giants back and then builds a push. So usually I mask when to defend the princes and save the cannon for the giant. So he hogs. Oh wow, he hogs and fireballs. I guess it wasn't that bad of a play, but it's quite aggressive. And then he goes ice golem. He honestly didn't need the ice golem here. He could have just let the cannon die since the cannon was basically useless. He just wasted an ice golem here. And I hope he doesn't hog. He does. Okay, that hog probably wasn't the best. He does get one hog hit, but his counter pushes can be kind of rough. Yeah, his counter push is kind of rough. That hog was very lost in the game. So yeah, he probably should have been a little bit more patient and then just gone with a Musk in the back or cycle to a Musk instead of hogging. Alright, so the next two games I'll analyze is from YouTube, so it has a different format. So ignore the weird sizing issues. Okay, so first one here is 2.6 mirror. Wait, let me mute this. And okay, let's see what he does. So usually single you take almost no damage, and then double you can start doing some hog fireballs and get some damage. Okay, so the opponent goes hog back first play. Kind of weird. So you need to be careful of being outcycled when he hogs back. So you need to make sure he cycles here. And he does. Okay. Well played. Okay, so probably hog. Okay, so he's waiting until he hits 10, which is decent play. Oh, he didn't hog, which is fine. Because usually you can't really get any damage in single anyway. I would have probably hogged the Ice Spirit there and make sure you don't get out cycled, because once you start cycling troops, you need to make sure you get to cannon quicker. Because if you play cannon, if you go hog onto the Ice Spirit, that's a free elixir hog rider basically, and it keeps you cycle quicker. So here he got out cycled, but maybe he can get back to cannon. Okay, he fireballs, which is fine. So he didn't take any damage. This ice column's kind of annoying because he doesn't have skeletons. I would probably musky. Okay, he does. And then protect. Oof. That's kind of rough. You gotta make sure you defend your musketeers and try and win the bridge battles, because it is definitely quite important. Because you can get a really good elixir lead if you win bridge battles. Okay, so decent cannon. You should probably cannon a bit lower, because if the opponent logged, he could have got a hit with his hog rider. So you need to make sure you cannon around here. Okay, so there's Mask, which is an okay play, but I probably would have went hog and then cycled back to a cannon. Okay, so he lost the bridge battle and he doesn't have cannon, which is kind of awkward. So you gotta make sure you keep your cycle going so you don't get out cycled. And I feel like 2% battery here is being a bit too passive. So he does attempt to win the bridge battle. I would cannon lower. Nice. Okay. So he cannons lower, so he doesn't give the opponent 5 value. It's a good play. Okay, it seems like he doesn't want to hog at all, and it looks like he's trying to spell cycle, I guess. Which, I don't know. I feel like you could get in a bit of trouble because once the opponent starts being hog fireball, you'll end up losing the lead. The opponent doesn't fireball the tower, and he could his hog, which is very interesting because there's no way that's going to break through. And then he keeps going Musk in the middle. Okay, interesting Musk by the opponent because I feel like he could have played like Ice Golem and then Skeleton to kill it. Because like the Musk here, it almost gets no value. The opponent's Musk is quite bad. Gets back to cannon. Or the opponent fireballs so late. And yeah, a bit of a mistake there. Okay, and he's just going for the spell cycle. Okay, that fireball by the opponent pretty bad. Like, usually he wants to fireball with the second Hog Rider. So he goes Hog back again. I don't know about that play because of the Musk there. Okay, so the opponent is just not trying to win the bridge battle. It's like if you're the opponent here, you want to win the bridge battle and then go hog, but he's like trying to just hog into a musketeer for some reason, which is not working at all. So you definitely want to win the bridge battle first and then go for a hog rider. Okay, so he's just going for the spell cycle, not going hog at all. So what he's doing is he's trying to innovate and try something new. But honestly, against a better player, I don't think this will work because once the opponent like goes for his Hog Ice Golem and then the Fireball, you you won't be able to keep up because going Hog Rider is very useful in the mirror because it allows the opponent to it like forces the opponent to defend and he won't be able to go Hog Ice Golem Fireball every time. But it looks like Daphne just didn't like go Ice Golem Hog Fireball at all. He just kept on Hog Fireball, which doesn't break through at all. So he takes the Hog hit. It just keeps on spell cycling, which actually works in this situation because once you're up damage, you can spell cycle and like you can play Musk in a place where it like baits them to fireball the Musk because if they fireball the Musk and don't fireball the cannon, there's no way they can break through. Okay, so the next game here is against Expo. Let's see how he places. So Archer's back. Well, since he's like mid ladder, he obviously won't know what the opponent's playing. So if you are like higher up in ladder and you know the opponent definitely playing Expo, I would go cannon in the middle because it fully counters the archers for even trade and you'll still have your tank in hand for when they expo. But since the opponent he doesn't know what the opponent is running, doing ice golem's fine. Or cycling like skeletons or something or log onto the archers. Okay. So he goes Mask, which honestly that's not a good play because if the opponent had Expo, which I don't think he actually had in cycle. Let's go back. Yeah, the opponent didn't have Expo in cycle. If he went Expo immediately when he went Musketeer, he probably would have lost the game because there's no way he could defend. If he went Expo then Knight, there's no way he can defend that. So yeah, don't Mosk in single against Expo, or you'll just lose the game. Okay, so he's supposed to Mosk with a Hog. It won't break through because single they have like the exact same cycle. Double maybe you can break through, but single you almost like can't break through unless you starting hand them. So yeah, you just want to keep up with the log chip. So here, let's see what he does. I would probably cannon low. Okay, so he goes Mosk. Let's see how he defends this. Mosk and cannon. The thing is, when you go Mosk, then Hog, it like look how much elixir you got. He's like starving for elixir, and if the opponent, I feel like if the opponent defended this better, he would have got a lock. So he might actually still get a lock. Let's see. Okay, he doesn't, but it was really close. Okay, so the opponent's got Fireball. Is he going to try and spell cycle? Okay, he doesn't. Okay, so Ice Golem cycled. And cannon. Okay, so he keeps going Musk. Like, honestly, maybe it's not a bad play, but I feel like Musk is like really squishy, and Expo like almost always wins a push battle. So honestly, I don't know. I would normally go cannon and then hog. It looks like he's going Musk then hog. Look at this, like the Musk gets no value at all, so I feel like it's not that beneficial. But here the Musk did get some value. Also archers. Okay, so we keep going Musk. Like honestly, Musk in that situation was not good because the opponent didn't even use Knight, but we got kind of lucky the opponent went Knight at the same time. Like if let's say the opponent didn't go Knight, he just went like Tesla and then went Expo opposite. And then let's say they went like Knight with a cannon to block it. And he probably would have lost. Like Musk is a very crucial card to keep, and it can be a big waste of elixir. Opponent Fireball, wow. So that was not a good play at all. Like he could have defended simply just by skeletons when the Musk locks onto the Knight. So yeah, not a great play by the opponent. The Musk almost got no value, so he tried to predict the Expo, which is interesting. So what's good is he's just keeping up the spell damage with the log, which is quite good. So he goes Musk and Hog, so that's a fine play. Because he had no tank other than Hog. So he is within like 300 damage. Let's see what he does. I would probably just Fireball his tower. Ooh. The opponent might just Fireball and win this battle cycle race. Because that's what a lot of Expo players do. They just go Expo for you to waste Fireball onto the strong side tower, and then they just Fireball, and then they just gain their damage lead, and then they can just defend for the rest of the game. So it does get a bit risky, but it looks like the opponent's not really fireballing at all for some reason. I don't know why. It looks like he's trying to get an expo lock, which is not a good idea. But a lot of people in mid ladder, I guess they don't know that they can just win off spell cycle. So it looks like 2% battery is gonna win the spell cycle race here, since the opponent, like, I guess he don't know how to play the matchup. But to be honest, he has been playing very defensive, so he hasn't really had any opportunities to get a hog lock. So he's just going fireball. Okay, so he shouldn't have taken the archer hit at all. But going fireball on the X on the tower, that's a decent play, because since he got both towers quite low, and his tower is at 3,500, it's fine to do. So I would hog opposite definitely here. I would definitely hog opposite. Yeah, and then do this defense since the Tesla can't hit the Musk. But he didn't hog. Okay, he did. He does hog now, which is fine. And then he gets good defense. Okay. This Musk was just a waste. He should have just went Spirit and then probably blocked it. Because now look, he's down so much elixir and this Musk is gonna die to the Tesla. So he might expo here. But since it's triple, he can defend because he can just fireball. Oh wow. Interesting hog. Because if the opponent went expo, I feel like he could have lost here. But the opponent did not. He just tried to defend. And he just gave 2% battery as elixir back. So yeah, he can defend this with fireball, then ice comb, log, etc. And yeah, this defense would be quite easy. But yeah, this was a decent example of how to play Expo, to be honest, because kept up the spell damage in single, and the opponent got a bit desperate and went with a Expo Tesla, which was punished pretty well, and he just defended the rest of the game, which was a very smart idea. So yeah, that was pretty well played.